In just under 2 months' time, PFL Europe will journey to Paris for the semi-finals of the competition's playoffs, and there's plenty to talk about ahead of the day. A host of the organization's best fighters will take to the smart cage with one goal on their mind: ensuring their place in the playoff final. From flyweights to light heavyweights, across both men and women, some of the PFL's top talents will be on show at the Zenith Paris, as they look to build on impressive performances earlier this year. Starting in Newcastle, PFL Europe then traveled to Berlin and now Paris, in the build-up to the finals in Dublin in December. With all of that in mind, it's impressive to remember that PFL Europe was only created in October last year, after PFL struck a partnership with broadcasters DAZN. Together, the two have helped provide a platform for Europe's top mixed martial arts stars and put on a number of entertaining events across the continent, all to the delight of PFL CEO Peter Murray. Speaking exclusively to MailSport, Murray said, "We're excited to be in partnership in DAZN. It's the home of PFL and MMA throughout Europe and other international markets. For our global product that we distribute internationally, DAZN is a key partner. And obviously, with respect to PFL Europe, DAZN's a strategic partner. They have an ownership position, and we're proud for PFL and DAZN to be bringing premium MMA to markets throughout Europe on their leading sports platform. For fans to experience that in markets like Newcastle, where we launched our inaugural season, it was an incredible success. And just last week in Berlin, our second PFL Europe event, PFL and DAZN brought MMA at the highest level to Berlin fans, and it was another sold-out show. There's real demand for MMA across Europe, and for PFL in particular in our format, because European fans get to truly have access to the best fighters throughout Europe on their journey to compete in a regular season playoff in a championship format. I was really pleased with the production and the role that DAZN played with respect to distribution and producing the event. The fights were incredible, and we're now into the playoffs. Paris's semi-finals promise to be an exciting night for any combat sports fan, with some of the organization's top talents set to enter the cage on the night. French welterweight Cedric Doumbé will make his highly anticipated debut, while impressive women's flyweight star Dakota Ditcheva will also be in action. Manchester's Ditcheva, who boasts an 8-0 professional record, has been the talk of the PFL since going 3-0 in her time with the company, and her matchup with Cornelia Holm will be another opportunity to showcase her talents. We are developing future champions, Murray continued. These are some of the greatest fighters throughout Europe, and now they have the opportunity to get the support from a major professional organization. As we roll out additional PFL international leagues, we'll have 6 regional leagues up and running in the next 3 years. We are executing our international expansion plan and global vision. We are building the Champions League of MMA. It's off to a great start. And in respect to the athletes, like Dakota and Simeon Powell, these are amazing athletes. Candidly, as a challenger brand, we sought for something, and first and foremost, we are offering athletes in different parts of the world, in different stages of their careers, the opportunity to compete and be supported as professionals. Their appeal to fighters across the globe has become clear after a plethora of exciting acquisitions in the past 12 months. From up-and-comer British star Chanel Dyer, who spoke exclusively to MailSport last month, to veteran Francis Ngannou, all the stars are flocking there. Former UFC champion Ngannou signed an exclusive global MMA strategic partnership with the organization in May that will see him take on a role outside of the cage for the PFL, as well as his ventures inside of it. Prior to his PFL debut or his work with PFL Africa, Ngannou will take on boxing heavyweight star Tyson Fury in a crossover superfight in October. In signing Francis earlier this year, we were very supportive in Francis's career as an elite fighter in both MMA and boxing, Murray explained. We're providing that level of flexibility so that Francis can take on the sport of boxing, which has always been a dream of his. We think he'll be an exceptional two-sport athlete. We're excited for the Tyson Fury fight, and we're even more excited for Francis to return to the MMA cage in the early part of next year in his debut with the PFL. And that will be the first fight in the PFL's Super Fight Division event, and there'll be more details to come on the opponent and the location.